Good dog, and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. We got the UAD versus a light cruiser and a destroyer. That's a very cheap destroyer. It's a very slow one for 1950s. Let's go. All right. UAD. Let's see if she can dodge some more torpedoes. Well, there we go. A little stuttering. Let's see, how far out are the enemy ships? Quite far away. Let's just close in at max game speed. And we're almost in range. Salt Lake City, 22-kilometer torpedoes and 5-inch main belt. And Halsey Powell, 13-kilometer torpedoes. That's a lot of torpedoes on Salt Lake City. Let's count how many launchers, actually. 2 quintuple launchers per side. Yeah, alright. So 10 torpedoes per, well, broadside, basically. And she's launched. So we're gonna turn. You can already set the secondary guns to fire at Halsey. Nice, so we're gonna dodge that volley quite comfortably. Halsey is not in range yet, but she will be soon. And Salt Lake is taking pretty meaty hits from those 10-inch guns. And the 5.9s are doing pretty mean things to Halsey here. Yeah, I think what the Americans have done with this destroyer class is they've built on the because I've got available some very small destroyer hulls that are basically intended to be gunboats or escorts. It's been added by the mod just to give the player a few more options when building ships. But the AI just sees that, oh, this is a destroyer hull. I can build my next destroyer class on this hull. And they end up with something that is really not suitable for the 1950s as a mainline destroyer. That's kind of the it's a bit of a balance to strike there. You want to have a lot of different hulls available to the player to build on, but the AI doesn't know which of those hulls are quote-unquote good. It just sees that, oh, this is a destroyer hull, I can build a destroyer now. Same with the battleship and stuff like that. It's why you often see that sometimes the AI has a perfectly good modern battleship, and then it becomes a couple years old, they scrap it, and they build some modernized dreadnought thing instead. Well, they did end up taking the islands here. I thought that was at like 0%. They sent up one light cruiser and just took it at the last moment. So I guess I have to take that back now. Oh well. We've taken Eastern England and Belgium, and we're gonna take the Netherlands as well. How about Northeast England? Ooh, that requires some tonnage. But we got some tonnage, don't we? Think we do. If I'm lucky... no, I don't think it's gonna be big enough. I was hoping maybe if... maybe if it's centered on Sunderland, the circle might like cover here, so I can bring this tonnage in and have it be in both invasions. Let's see if that's the case. Probably not, but well, we can hope. We can hope. Light cruiser on light cruiser. We've seen these matchups before, and they typically don't end too well for the French. Speaking of which, where are they? There they are. A little bit far out. Not too far out. We're gonna be in range pretty soon. Gonna close to within firing range and then just turn and sail parallel. Oh, we're almost there already. There we go. Firing. I can throw out some torpedoes as well. There we go. 5 torps in the water. Maybe they will hit something. Maybe maybe not. Probably not needed though. Pretty confident in the gunnery of Mani. Are you sailing away from me? What are you doing that for? Let's see, what kind of extended belts do you have? 0.6. We get a little bit closer. I can start going through that with HE. I probably turned away because you saw my torpedoes. That was probably it. Maybe. Let's try with HE now at 12 kilometers. You've launched. So I need to turn. There we go. That's a big chunk of damage. Going through those extended belts. It feels a little bit exploitative using high pen HE like this. Because kind of the stated goal of the Dreadnought improvement program was to make HE less viable. There was a time in vanilla where it was definitely overpowered, and you could burn down almost anything with especially incendiary HE. But here, with the AI building like all or nothing armored ships like this, with very light fore and aft belts, you can score HE penetrations and do a whole lot of damage. Which again, just because the damage model is a little bit primitive, that just translates to a lot of damage to the ship as a whole. Even though that probably shouldn't be the case. But there we go. That's a French light cruiser sunk. And now a convoy battle here. Same matchup, but with 3 transports as well. Alright. And there they are. Close into range, and let's see. Gonna do the classic maneuver, launching torpedoes at the transports and just hoping that the light cruiser is gonna find itself in between my torpedo targets and the torpedoes. Because if I target the light cruiser directly when it's just sailing around like this, torpedoes may well just end up over here somewhere. We're not in torpedo range just yet, but almost. See, let's put the guns on the cruiser. Torpedoes on the transport. Launch from one side, and then turn the other cheek. The aft cheek, if you will. And there we go. 10 torps in the water. Nice. Do these transports have torpedoes? They do not. They only have 2-inch guns. So not really much to worry about. It's heading towards my torpedoes. No. Maybe this one. No. Did not get lucky this time around. But neither did they. And there we go. Enemy cruiser sunk. Oirim has taken no damage, no casualties. So now it's just a matter of sinking the transports, which should be pretty easy. We're just gonna make them all surrender? Probably. There we go. Although, that one's probably gonna sink. So, yeah. And with that, let's see. Let's see what we can do here. The Americans have a lot of ships here. They've got 6 capital ships a bunch of destroyers, a bunch of cruisers, and a bunch of destroyers. And those are the two task forces they have. We've damaged a bunch of ships in previous battles, so some of them have teleported to port. This is still a... Okay, so this ship is in both invasions. That's good. We need to sink something here. A single heavy cruiser came out from here. Okay. Which ships are these? The those ones. I'm just gonna move them together with this task force. And then move these here. Let's see, can I can move in these guys as well. Like so. That should give me two pretty big powerful task forces here. So no matter which one gets the battle with the big American task force, either one should be well prepared for it. I think, maybe. And that's probably it. Got battlecruisers here, battlecruisers there, doing things. Alright then. Let's see what happens. Alright, let's see what we've got after these pop-ups and the port strike battles. Here we go. That's not too bad. These are the super dreadnoughts. All of them from two different squadrons. 7 in total versus a bunch of cruisers and destroyers. So we've got the firepower for sure. And this time I got some heavy cruisers with me to escort the battleships and gun down all the smaller enemies. This time there will be no running away. Well, unless the enemy decides to, but it's dip, so they shouldn't. There you go, all battleships, one big happy division. Well, maybe happy. One must imagine the battleships happy. Okay, any of you guys got torpedoes? Some of you do. They are now turned off. Destroyers. A bit of a mixed bag. These guys, I guess they can do circles here. The Vikings will move out and do the opening torpedo strike, as is the custom. Let's see, how far out are they? I can't see them. Light cruiser Brooklyn is spotting my ships, but I cannot see Brooklyn. Probably because Brooklyn is a light cruiser and quite a bit smaller than a 90,000 ton dreadnought. I'm spotting some of them now. Alright. Quite far out. That's okay. It's a lot of guns moving in. Let's see. Yeah, these are the surprisingly fast enemy heavy cruisers that are faster than my light cruisers and faster than many of my destroyers. We've opened fire. The lead ships. And of course the enemy cruisers are a lot faster than even their own destroyers. Somewhat because their own destroyers are very slow. What kind of torpedo range are we looking at with these? 15. So we're not quite in torpedo range. That is good, because I suddenly got worried that my my destroyers had triggered torpedo launches from the enemy cruisers, which could get ugly because that could end up hitting my battleships. Alright. Now gun targets. There we go. And we are scoring hits. Vikings are seemingly getting out. Some of these ships are a bit low in ammunition. Some of them have plenty of ammunition. Rochester has taken a lot of hits, torpedo hits on Toledo. And all these torpedoes are steaming on, ready to impact the destroyers in the rear, which is perfect. There we go, good torpedo hits on a lot of enemy ships, and I think we're gonna get more. Yes, we are. Excellent. And that is the first enemy heavy cruiser deleted. Okay, which of these ships It's like being slow. Viking 50. Why are you not just doing your full speed? No, you're capable of doing full speed. I don't get it. One of you is being dumb. Viking 19 maybe? Yeah, it was. Which had also lost its torpedoes, so might as well just go home. Toledo taking a lot of hits. Now the enemy destroyers are almost in range. Well, they are in range of some of my ships. Some of my cruisers. So start firing at those. Toledo goes down. Tulsa goes down. Okay, now all of you are firing at the same ship. That's not necessary. So we're gonna split up some fire again. Focusing on the light cruisers for some of the ships in the back. Destroyers, you might as well launch at something. Make yourself somewhat useful. Now we can go home. I think you've done enough. Darn it. Let's see here. You can detach. Because you've got incoming torpedoes. Did we end up hitting anything? Maybe not. Well, not yet at any rate, but that might change. And I almost forgot. We need a thumbnail. Let's put this one first. Because I did not put it on the previous thumbnail. Or did I? I forgot. I forgot. I either used it or the new battlecruiser. One of the two. But that's nice. That's 7 super dreadnoughts in line astern, all firing, opening up with everything. J-43 sinks. Eager, what the f... What are you doing? What are you doing, Aegir? I know it's very hard for you to keep formation when you have to slow down. But can you at least not sail into the face of the entire enemy formation? You can launch torpedoes now as you turn around. More enemy ships sink. And I have to pick out targets again for the big guns, because they're probably all targeting the same ship again. Friday, you're a little bit low on ammunition now. Donabo, you can target Vallejo. Gustav Vasa. Tapper. Dominant. Jaeger, you can actually sail parallel to the light cruisers now instead. Let's see if you can do something there. And we're down to single-digit FPS. So it's not just the recording lagging, by the way, it is the actual game lagging. And of course we are now taking torpedo fire because, well, someone... There we go. Someone moved out of formation and into torpedo range of the enemy ships, and that attracted the torpedo swarm. Now the cruisers need to maneuver. Let's see. I'm gonna pause this. Frey, you are retreating. Alright. Now we get them from this side as well. Excellent. Secondaries on Stevens. And pick out different targets for the different battleships. So we don't have all the main guns firing at the same destroyer, which would of course be very annoying. Dominant, have you taken a torpedo? You have. Come here. Secondaries on Palmer. Palmer sinks. Don't know about Jefferson and Lake. Surt takes a dead torpedo, which is lucky. I did not see that one. Let's see. Freidig, Magnus, Egon, Dannebro, Vasa, and we're almost done here. I've got more guns than I've got targets, which is nice. These two heavy cruisers are pretty much intact. I'm gonna have the big gun cease fire. Because unless that huge American task force with all the capital ships, unless that is being engaged this month, these ships will probably have to do that next month. And if they can save some ammunition for that, that would be nice. I'm pretty sure these two heavy cruisers can deal with two very crippled destroyers on their own. Like that, and then Bryant. Which should be the last one. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. That is 3 million damage in total. We took some damage in return, lost one destroyer, but overall, it's not too bad. Battleships, did any of you... Dominant, yeah, you took some... you took a torpedo hit. But that's basically it as far as battleships are concerned. Frey took some damage. All the destroyers took a lot of damage. Well, the big ones did. The J-43s. Starting to think they're just not a very good design. Just because of their size. They attract a lot of hits. Let's see, there's one more meeting. Here we go. Ooh. Yeah, you were not the ones I wanted to have meet this enemy task force, but we might as well try and do some damage while retreating. Just do the best of it. Yeah. Alright. Let's see. Ah, we got Aid back. Nice. Like so. We only have 2 destroyers, 2 Vikings. And they're gonna have to earn their pay. Ammunition, good. 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 I think they're all full. Actually, for a change. And enemy task force is almost in range of my guns. Of course, they got so many smoke launchers. Getting a consistent lock on their capital ships, probably not too easy. It's gonna be better once they close in a bit. It's also evening, so it's gonna be night soon. Let's see, Kurland, Alastein Fostre. And Olav. And we almost have torpedo range on the enemy ships. Got a little bit closer than I would have liked. Viking 09 took a big hit there, and that means she just needs to get her torpedoes in the water and continue on home. No, she did not. 26 did. Oh well. Enemy destroyers not quite in range yet of my my cruiser guns. Which, of course, they are not behaving. Damn you. Just sail in a line. It's not that hard. I'm gonna lose my other destroyer too, I think. But at least we scored quite a few torpedo hits. Bainbridge is pushing a destroyer along. Taking a lot of big hits in the process. We got plenty of ammo still. Viking 26 probably won't make it out of here. Nah. She dead. I think I need to order up another couple of batches of Vikings. Golf. There's a double D golf. All of you can just focus New Hampshire now, because New Hampshire is bullying my cruisers. You can focus New Hampshire with HE. That'd be very nice if you could do something to her extended belts. Norfolk finding herself in the path of all those big shells. It's fine. Actually, Kudlan, you can finish off Bainbridge. That would be nice. New Hampshire is taking big hits. Make sure my cruisers don't just run away. I think we're going to get New Hampshire. And probably Bainbridge as well. If Kudlan can just score some big hits. There we go. New Hampshire sinks. Next up, we're going to focus Bainbridge. Can actually go auto on the shell selection here. I'm going to turn my line. Okay, forget about Bainbridge. We actually have to deal with Ohio first and foremost. She's the one scoring hits on Olav Haraldsson. Actually, many of them are scoring hits on that ship. We need these to slow down. Because Olav Haraldsson is only doing 20 knots now. I do not want to lose that ship. But at the same time, she has to sail broadside because that's the safest. Ohio taking some big hits. And you're firing AP. That is so ineffective in dip. Which is ironic because that was supposed to be what was supposed to be effective. Haraldsson, you need to actually... of course, they cannot do formation either if they're going to slow down. And Haraldsson is actually gonna sink. Darn it! Ohio sinks too. Can we turn Kudlan around? That's probably a very bad idea. What is a good target here? Bainbridge, still. Because Bainbridge can be sunk. Oh, let's see. There we go. Good hits on Bainbridge. Håkon now taking hits as well. Flash fire on Bainbridge. I think that's the end of her. Possibly. Kudlan has taken a bunch of damage. Goff sinks. Bainbridge is still afloat. Just hoping we can score some more flooding hits on it. Make it actually sink. I want my cruisers to focus the enemy destroyers. Israel. Come here, Håkon. Returning this way or not being fired upon right now. Still no more hits on Bainbridge. Let's see. That destroyer can be picked. You got very low chance to hit there, Håkon. Let's see, can we can target that one. Maybe something like that. Try and maximize the amount of hits we get. Oh, you're not in range anymore. Let's keep you somewhat in range. Bainbridge is trying to sail away. See if we can score some hits on Oklahoma then. There we go. Landing hits on the destroyers. Finally, Beale goes down. Do you have range to hit anything now, Håkon? Not really. You can take Norfolk and then Los Angeles, I guess, once that is sunk. There you go. All cruisers now have their own targets. You start maximizing hits again. Maybe. We're scoring some hits at least. Now I can target Oklahoma, because it's suddenly in range again. It's been zooming around so much. Still like no option to end the battle here. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. Okay, Nevada is the one firing at you, so I guess that's the one you gotta return fire to. You can go HE on that. We can hope we can score a couple of hits. There we go. It's a pretty nice hit, actually. Okay, then Norfolk is the only one in range. So let's actually try and sink it. And then the Los Angeles. We can just score a bit more flooding on it. That would be very nice. because it's so close. There we go. End battle is an option. But now I actually want to sink this. Ideally both of these. Because they're pretty expensive boats, $1 billion each. Here comes the storm. And now I can't see anything. So we're gonna slink away in the rain squall. That's too bad about this one. I think that means next time it's time to design some more fast battleships. But we sank two of their battleships, heavily damaged the third one, and dealt some damage to their destroyer screens. That's not too bad. So what happened to that other come on now, a lot of stuff happening. That other task force I sent in here. This one. I guess they just didn't do anything. Here are these battleships being repaired for a long time. Yeah, these super battleships will be the ones to engage this big American task force. While these ones that I just sent in here will have to go and do something about this. And then there were some things happening here. Yeah, that's a normal army invasion. Can my army just take it? No, I don't think so. But we can start a should probably do an invasion of something French, shouldn't we? Because this will hopefully end very soon once I send my ships there to interrupt it. No, let's take Alaska. I changed my mind. We are taking northern Alaska. It only takes 8,000 tons. I can just have a heavy cruiser deal with that. And send these battle cruisers to do something else somewhere else. Sørreisa, you are invading Alaska. Good luck. These battle cruisers will have to I can send them to Asia, actually. We can take on I guess Britain did lose Hong Kong. We can take on this fleet. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff here. That they do. Alright, we have some battles to play next turn. Britain has actually sent some ships here to deal with this invasion, so that's maybe something. Here we got an overlap. Come on, game. There we go. Got an overlap. That means I get a 2-for-1. I don't get a 2-for-1 where I thought I would, like up here. But here, that works as well. 300,000 plus, yeah, that will get us above the minimum at least. I don't know about this place. Yeah, we're above the minimum, just not by that much. Henry Gibson is cleared for takeoff. What do we have here? Yeah. I can send the battle cruisers down to the heavy cruisers there. They can bring along some ships. Like so. Yeah, that's good. Alright, and with that, I'm ending this episode. So, we're gonna see what happens here next time. Which of my task forces get to engage this. Now, this force has been reduced quite a bit. Those ships I damaged, they've been sent in for repair. They are in Haifa. So that's nice. Meanwhile, a lot of my ships are in Italia. So, yeah. Well, goodbye, and take care.